Using COUNTIFS in Google Sheets allows us to check if two conditions are met and then count up in a range. So maybe a column, maybe a bunch of columns, maybe just a set of different cells. So previously, you might have encountered COUNTIF without the S. So just a reminder what that does. We've got all our content pillars for our marketing social media here. And I've used COUNTIF on the content pillar column H for February 2024, and I've said if it equals B2, count it. And I've pulled this the whole way down, so it's done it for each of these, and I can see that there is a total of 18 posts, and most of them are in AI and data in real life or AI and data confidence. But maybe I want to see what day of the week we're posting different things on. So if I just navigate back to my February, and I've got day of the week here. Now, there's many ways you can do this. You can just type it out, but sometimes what I like to do is copy the whole column. So click on the top of B and use Command or Control and C, depending on what computer you're using. Go back to here, and I'm going to do it just randomly in this column, and I'm going to hit Command or Control and V. That's very colorful, but that's fine. And then while this is still highlighted, I'm going to go to Data, and I'm going to go Data Cleanup, Remove Duplicates. And it's going to say, are we sure that we want to remove the duplicates? Yep. We only want to look at column H. Yep. But our data does have a header. So I'm going to say, data has a header row and remove duplicates. Okay. So now we've got 5 days of the week, which is what I wanted. The color doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to right click and say, oh, it's not here. Oh, I thought I could do that. So I'm going to click here and go Format and say Clear Formatting. Apparently I can also use Command or Control and backslash. So let's test that out. Ooh, lovely. So now we've got rid of the formatting, which actually isn't really what I wanted to do. So I'm going to use Command or Control and Z and get rid of that. Actually, what I wanted to do was set the background color to reset. There we go. That's a bit better, although we've lost this one. I'll just delete that. I want these 5 days of the week. So I'm going to say Command or Control and C. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to right click and say Paste Transposed. So that's going to flip them from being vertical to being horizontal. Here we go. And then I'm going to delete these ones. And I am now going to reset the formatting. So Command or Control and backslash. There we go. Now we're ready to use our formulas. So here we have the COUNTIF formula. This time I'm going to use the COUNTIFS. So again, we can click on this to have a bit of a look at what goes on. So this time we're going to have criteria range 1, criteria range 2, criteria 2, and so on and so on. And the example here is if A1 to 10 is greater than 20, and if B1 to 10 is greater than 30, then count. So I'm just going to exit this, and I'm going to delete this bracket and put it back in so that I'm able to easily move to the next tab. So I'm going to go back to this tab, and I'm going to remember that we are using H for content. So what I'm trying to do is work out which content pillars are being posted on which days of the week. And then I'm going to type a comma, and I'm going to flip back to COUNTIF quickly, and I'm going to click here. Okay, cool. We're all good. I'm going to type in another comma. I'm going to go back to the Feb 2024 one, and I'm going to click on B, which is days of the week. I'm going to press a comma again. The commas are kind of important. It's what lets Google Sheets know that you want to move tabs, and it's okay to move tabs. If I don't type the comma in, it will just end up in an error. So if you're ending up with errors, I think it's just that you're not typing the commas in. So go back to COUNTIF, and I want to click on Monday, but this is in my way. So I know Monday is D1, so I'm just going to type in D1. I'm going to close my brackets and hit enter. So there was no posts about real life on Mondays. That concerns me. So I'm just going to pull this down quickly. We've maybe covered replication and the dollar signs before, but just a quick reminder, I want this to stay in row 1, so I'm just going to add a dollar sign. If I don't include that, when I pull it down, it's going to end up looking at 2, which is not what we want, like D2 instead of D1. So I'm just going to go back, before the 1, I'm going to type in a $sign and hit enter. And then when I pull this down now, it will stay up here in row 1, which is what I want. Okay, so we've got a few posts on Monday, so that's cool. I think that means it's working. Similarly, if we start to pull it this way, we're going to have problems with the columns because you can see all the columns have changed now. We want E to change because we want the day of the week names to change, but we don't actually want anything else to change. So I'm just going to go back here. I am going to, in front of B2 here, put a $sign in front of the B because we want the column to stay the same, but not the row. We're happy for the row to change. And similarly, for this February H1, I'm going to highlight it, and I am going to press function and F4 so that the $sign is added. So you can also just add in the $signs if you want to. But again here, similarly, I'm going to press F4 or function and F4 if you're on a Mac and hit enter. So what we've done is we're allowing the row for this bit to change and the column for this bit to change. That's why the D here and the 2 here don't have any $signs. And now, if we pull this the whole way down, the results will be the same. But I can then pull it across and it should keep going. So just to check that we're happy with everything, how I would check it is to do a sum here. So sum from C2 to C5 and hit enter. And then I'll do a sum at the end of every row as well. So from Monday to Friday, just these 5 and hit enter. So what we're trying to see here is this 7 is the same as this, 6, 2, 3, yep. And then if we sum these up, it should be the same as the 18. Lovely. So we've got what we wanted, so it worked. So now I can kind of see what's going on different days of the week. This isn't very pretty, so I'm just going to highlight it, put everything in the middle, and I'm just going to make the top row bold so that we know it's that. And this font is a little bit bigger, so I'm just going to make this font go back up to 12. So everything looks the same. There we go. Cool. So now I can kind of take a look and I can see, okay, this is almost like the total now, rather than just the count. Yep. So we can see we're posting on Wednesdays quite a lot. Oh, and I can also pull this across just to see the amounts I'm posting per day. So I am posting quite consistently, a little bit less on Thursday and Friday, but quite consistently across. So that's how you can use COUNTIF on text data, COUNTIFs, on text data, so that you can use it to assess 2 conditions and then sum up count how many are actually happening that meets those conditions.